There is a war raging in the spiritual world. Forces of light against dark entities. In a moment, Stuart Wilde joins us on Coast to Coast AM. Author and lecturer Stuart Wilde. He's an urban mystic, a modern visionary. He has written a number of books on consciousness and awareness, including the very successful Taos Quintet, which are considered classics in their genre. Stuart's perspective has won him a loyal readership over the years, and, of course, here on Coast to Coast AM. Stuart, my friend, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Stuart. How are you?
Excellent. Lots to talk with you about. The battle going on in the spirit world, huh?
Yeah, there's a whole fight going down at the moment.
Stuart, I still am getting reports from people on predictions, and people are still predicting a major earthquake along the northwestern coast of the United States, Seattle area in there. And I remember a couple of years ago you talked about the possibilities, too. Is that still a possibility?
Well, George, I saw that vision like a few years ago for whatever it was, like November the 4th of that year. And I was dead wrong, and I haven't really made a lot of mistakes over the years, and I was sort of like shocked by the fact I got it wrong. But, of course, I didn't see the vision. It didn't say November the 4th that particular year. It just said November the 4th, so I suppose it could be November the 4th any year.
Exactly.
But I haven't seen any new visions for the Seattle earthquake at all, not recently.
So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen any, none at all. So maybe that's just one of those things that's come and gone and it didn't happen,
Well, when you say you're wrong, you've also been right a lot, Stuart, as well.
Yeah. I wrote a book in the 1990s called Whispering Winds of Change, which is still available. And it predicted this whole crisis that we're going through, the financial markets and so on. I mean, it predicted it right down to the line, so it was pretty accurate.
I'm just wondering that, when I'm not sure you can even say you were wrong in the original prediction, that you might have been wrong on the time, the date, but, it could be just something for people to be aware of.
Well, the thing about it is all my information, George, everything I write in my books and everything I write on my website and so on, I see it all in visions. And, of course, it is possible for visions to be corrupted or wrong, or also you can misinterpret a vision. Do you follow me? You can get it
absolutely
backwards, So, I mean, there is a margin of error, where it's not a perfect science here.
You touch in this latest work here, Grace, Gaia, and the End of Days, a number of things, including, of course, reincarnation, battles going on in the spiritual realm, poisonous people, which I want to get into as well. But overall, tell me about the concept of this one.
Well, there's a mirror world to ours, George, and through like many, many decades of like going into trance every single day without fail, I began to see these hell worlds and the celestial worlds. And it has a topography, it has a geography, the beings in there. You kind of learn to maneuver your way around. And I also found that, like, if I put my arms out in front of my body, I could actually put my hand into that dimension, like from about the elbow downwards. And I could watch my arms in there. It's really strange, but that sort of mirror world isn't very far from us. It's like, I don't know, I suppose psychics call it the spirit world, but you can actually see it. And then I start to see horrendous ghouls and demonic beings and black entities and all manner of stuff. And so I started to write about what I saw. And then how it all turned around for me was that one day I had my arms out, and I saw that I had these cactus needles on my fingers. And I said, what do I do with that? And I just heard point. And so I pointed at this entity that I could see in the distance, and somehow the cactus needle went from my finger and killed it. It just melted, degraded.
Jeez.
And after that, I spent 2 or 3 hours a day, every single day, in those lunar worlds, rubbing out these entities, and I've, like, killed 84,000 so far.
84,000?
Yeah, well, I counted as far as 74,000, then I got bored of counting. But I've not.
They just keep coming, though, don't they?
Yeah, there's endless amounts. It's probably trillions, so 84,000 is probably not even 1% of 1%.
You see a lot of things in the future in forms of symbols, don't you?
Yes, it's in pictures and symbols. Sometimes I see videos, like I'll see a video clip play in my mind's eye, and it could be a very short clip, 7 to 10 seconds, or like sometimes a clip might last 4 hours, and it just plays over and over and over for 4 hours.
Do they just come randomly to you?
Randomly. They're usually in color, and then sometimes they're in night vision green, like those night goggles,
absolutely.
Use and
sure
so on.
thing.
Yeah. So sometimes I see it in night vision green. Sometimes I see it in sort of faint light on a dark background. And other times I see it in full frontal, full color, so to speak.
How do you interpret what you're seeing?
There's a language that you begin to learn of the symbols. By seeing symbols lots and lots of times, you begin to kind of understand what they mean because you've seen them, let's say, 60, 80, 100 times before.
Stuart, let's pick up by talking about reincarnation, which you highlight in your latest work, Grace Gaia in the End of Days.
Yeah.
You claim that it's everywhere. What do you mean?
Well, that's what I was told, because we live in a holographic universe, and so each one of us is inside everything. And so when I asked about reincarnation in those inner worlds, I was just shown, excuse me, George, that it's everywhere. It's like we're inside everybody, and they're inside us. We're essentially one being, The whole of our humanity is joined, and Fritjof Capra said the same thing in the Tao of Physics in 1975, and a lot of people have talked about this quantum mysticism. Deepak Chopra, who I know very well, he talks about it, the unity in all things. And then there were some beings in there, and they were teaching me, and they said that we have 5 incarnations, usually.
And what do you mean by 5? Just
5 lives. 5 lives.
That's it. Okay,
that's
some people
lives.
have said we have hundreds, but you believe just 5.
No, I was told we just have 5,
I was wondering.
life's tough, George. I don't want to do this 5 times anyway, do you?
I want to get to the best part real quickly, don't you? You don't want to go through all these different scales of living. You just want to hit it off fast and be godlike right away, if you can. I'm not sure we all can, though.
Well, in addition to the hell worlds, which are absolutely disgusting, we see the celestial worlds as well, and they're extraordinarily beautiful. They're sort of magical forests and rainbow colors and angelic beings, so we see both things. We don't just see the hells.
Do we all start off on the bottom of the food chain, basically, Stuart? I mean, are there some people who are always more advanced than others, or do we all start off pretty darn low, and then we work our way up?
Yeah, I think humanity is pretty darn low. I think we all have a deep, dark shadow that we have to process, and we all have, information that we were given that wasn't correct. I mean, the people may have loved us and done the best that they could and taught us what they knew, but most people really don't know much about the reality that they live in, and they're just very much just involved in survival, paying the rent and, making the mortgage or whatever.
Sure thing. Lots of people don't believe in reincarnation because they claim it conflicts with their own personal beliefs. What do you tell people like that?
I think it's not necessary to believe in it. It's a sort of an option. I don't have any dogma to sell anybody. It would seem strange, though, to think that you could understand the whole of life in one little lifetime. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Especially if that lifetime you're born, I don't know what, you're working in a paddy field in China, and that's it, and then you never came back. You'd hope that you'd want to come back and do something different. I don't know, be a motor racing driver, be a mother, I don't know, be a farmer in Scotland, or whatever it might be. Do you follow me? You'd think that you'd need more than one experience to get this, because even if you're very high-powered, you still can't get it all. I mean, there's so much to learn on the Earth plane.
In these 5 levels, how do we know that we haven't attained that 5th level on this go-round, or maybe we're only in our 2nd or 3rd?
I don't know whether it's necessarily incremental, George, where you start off as a complete idiot and you wind up as being some sort of, you go from being an idiot to being an avatar or something. I think it's...
What's happening to me, Stuart? I'm going the wrong way.
No. I think it's all to do with feelings, It's like you incarnate out once you've processed your feelings, once you've gone beyond, evil and disdain and jealousy and aggravation and anger. And when you become an equitable, balanced person, then maybe there's no more reason for you to be here, do you see? So I don't know whether it's really the accumulation of knowledge. I think you can incarnate out without vast amounts of knowledge, but if you were very kind-hearted and very sweet and so forth, you would be allowed to leave. Because I reckon that the earth is punishment. It's a beautiful place, but for most humans, it's painful. It's punishment.
I want to stay here as long as I can before I check out. Don't you?
Well, it's an interesting life. There's so much to learn. Look at your job. You get every day to speak to really interesting people, and it's fascinating to learn new things.
It is every day. It's been as I would say, it's been great to come in. So I'm looking at the title of your book when I got it, Grace, and I said, that's neat. Gaia, I like that. And then I see The End of Days, and I went, whoa. What's going on? So let's dissect this for a moment, Stuart.
Okay.
What do you mean by grace?
Well, the standard sort of Christian understanding of grace is like the benevolence of God, so it was grace that saved a wretch like me, as the song says. But in the Aluna world,